Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we make sense of corporate filings. This time, we're diving into Cullen Funds Trust's latest shareholder report, so buckle up, because it's a wild ride through emerging markets, dividends, and all things fund-related. And just a heads up, there's a part where they talk about a 10-year performance, makes you wonder if my last investment is ever going to see those numbers. This is a semi-annual report for the period of July 1, 2024 to December 31, 2024. We're going to be looking at several funds under the Cullen Funds Trust umbrella, each with its own focus and performance. Think of it like a family of funds, some are shining stars and others maybe need a little extra coaching. First up, we have the Cullen Emerging Markets High Dividend Fund. There are different share classes here, like Class C and Class I, each with different expense ratios and performance. It's important to know which class you are invested in. Let's talk costs because everyone wants to know how much they're paying. For Class C, the costs of a $10,000 investment were about $100 over the past 6 months, which translates to an expense ratio of 2.00%. For Class I, it's significantly lower at $50 or 1.00%. Lower expenses are always better as they eat less into your returns. Now, for the real meat of the report, how did the fund actually perform? This chart shows the hypothetical value of a $10,000 investment over the past 10 years compared to the MSCI Emerging Markets Index, which is a broad benchmark. In December 2024, that hypothetical $10,000 investment in Class C would be worth $15,588, and in Class I, the same investment would be worth $17,246. Scroll Class C/non-numeric. For the average annual total returns, Class C came in at 8.41% for 1 year, 5.87% for 5 years, and 4.54% for 10 years, while the MSCI Emerging Markets Index is 7.50% for 1 year, 1.70% for 5 years, and 3.64% for 10 years. Class I has performed better. 9.50% for 1 year, 6.92% for 5 years, and 5.60% for 10 years. Of course, it's important to remember the golden rule. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. So what exactly is this fund invested in? Looking at the industry allocation, tech hardware and semiconductors make up the largest chunk at 20.63%, followed by banking at 16.67%. Geographically, China dominates at 23.06%, with Taiwan coming in second at 21.74% and India at 16.23%. Keep an eye on these allocations as changes can signal a shift in strategy. Scroll Cullen. ENHANCED Equity Income Fund/Scroll. Moving on, we have the Cullen Enhanced Equity Income Fund, which also has Class C and Class I shares. Again, different expense ratios apply. Class C investors would have paid $90 on a $10,000 investment over the last 6 months, compared to just $39 for Class I. Looking at the past performance of Class C since inception of the fund, it shows a hypothetical $10,000 investment would be worth $17,002 in Dec 24, compared to S&P 500 index's $33,786. Class I is at $18,601 for the same period. Scroll average, annual total returns/scroll. For the average annual total returns, Class C came in at 5.85% for 1 year, 5.02% for 5 years, and 6.01% since inception, while the S&P 500 index is at 25.02% for 1 year, 14.53% for 5 years, and 14.42% since inception. SIBO S&P 500 Buy Right Index is at 20.12% for 1 year, 6.88% for 5 years, and 7.11% since inception. Class I has performed better, 6.87% for 1 year, 6.08% for 5 years, and 7.07% since inception. Remember, past performance is not indicative of future returns. The Enhanced Equity Income Fund focuses on the healthcare, which comprises of 13.71%, consumer staple products at 12.47%, and banking at 11.74% of its investments. Almost all its allocations are in the United States, which is at 91.94%. Scroll Cullen. High Dividend Equity Fund/Scroll. Let's look at the Cullen High Dividend Equity Fund. This time, the report notes costs of $90 for Class C compared to a $10,000 investment. Scroll how. Did the fund perform over the past 10 years? Scroll. Class C's historical growth from a hypothetical $10,000 and 0 cents investment in Deck 14 would be valued at $17,766 in Deck 24, compared to S&P 500 index at $34,254. When it comes to average annual total returns, Class C came in at 8.35% for 1 year, 4.68% for 5 years, and 5.92% for 10 years, compared to S&P 500 index at 25.02% for 1 year, 14.53% for 5 years, and 13.10% for 10 years. Finally, let's check on the Cullen Small Cap Value Fund. Here, the costs rise slightly to $105 for Class C. Once again, a $10,000 investment from December 2014 would now only be valued at $17,282, compared to the Russell 1000 index at $28,147. The average annual returns tell a similar story. Class C has 3.72% for 1 year, 7.62% for 5 years, and 5.62% for 10 years, compared to Russell 1000 index having 22.84% for 1 year, 12.54% for 5 years, and 10.90% for 10 years. When it comes to industry, Cullen's Small Cap Value Fund is focused heavily on banking. All funds disclosures and financial records. The Principal Executive Officer and Principal Financial Officer of Cullen Funds Trust determined that the disclosure controls and procedures were effective as of December 31, 2024. They also stated that there were no changes in internal control over financial reporting that have materially affected it. So what's the big picture here? Well, it's a mixed bag. Some of Cullen Funds Trust's funds are performing reasonably well. The key takeaway here is to really understand the fees and expenses associated with your specific share class. Those costs can significantly impact your overall returns, especially over the long term. Also, these funds may or may not be performing as great as the benchmark indexes, so I suggest to be cautious with allocations. Thanks for tuning in to Corporate Decoder, and if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What other corporate filings should we decode next? Let me know in the comments below.